Hey guys, and we have another Star Wars talk. Yeah, we've had May the 4th actually, like not long ago, and of course I did the You Should Be Watching for the Clone Wars series, but because on this day also we got another season of Star Wars Visions, and I have to really talk about Star Wars Visions because that anthology show is simply excellent. That's right. I think that show is excellent, and it's certainly so much better from The Mandalorian. At the very least, season 3 of The Mandalorian that has sadly been pretty underwhelming. I seem to be a little less harsh on it than most people, and I somewhat liked the last episode, although looking back it was pretty generic final battle, nothing else, but I seem to be more soft on the season 3 of The Mandalorian than most people, but objectively it was very underwhelming. I mean, it was doomed the minute Book of Boba Fett brought Grogu back to The Mandalorian, but oh well, it is what it is. But Star Wars Visions, I think it's excellent. It's very much an anthology series. Season 1 was different Japanese anime studio adapting their own stories, but here for season 2 they moved international and did many different studios from all over the world, like Irish studio, French studio, and obviously there were at least two that still seem very much anime, so I predict those were other Japanese studios. Yeah, but I think, even though this is season 2 that just came out, I think both seasons are excellent, and I think that I'm really hoping they will do more for Star Wars Visions, because truthfully, this deserves to be continued, and I'm hoping they'll get even other animation studios from the same countries they already did. Who knows, but there's so many different animation studios all over the world. I won't mind if they even actually reuse some of the old ones, but yeah, I really hope they continue Star Wars Visions because I really love this anthology series, and I'm totally going to do the ranking of all the 16 of all the 17 episodes, even though this will be pretty tough actually, because there were many great ones. There were some more underwhelming ones, but there were also lots of great ones, and although ranking them all will be really difficult, I will try my best to do this. And what I love about Star Wars Visions is that those stories, either some might not even take place in the same continuity as the original trilogy, which gives writers more freedom, but some could totally pass as adventures of some completely characters that nobody knows about and what their life is like. Yeah, it could totally be both ways, and I love that approach. It's just amazing. And I love how every short has different animation studio, obviously, and because of that it's so creative, and the stories they tell are actually pretty deep and rich, actually. Yeah, like they aren't just some random shorts of lightsaber battles. Some might be that, but some shorts actually have very deep, rich story that actually makes you think, and I really love that. What I also love is that each of those shorts, in addition to being made by a different animation studio, they are also very different from others. Like some are very much classic Star Wars stories, like that involve the Jedi and all, but then there are some that just kind of small scale stories are more about people in the Star Wars universe doing fun things. Like for example, in the second episode of the first season had this band perform for Jabba the Hutt, and then in this season we had episode of mother and daughter racing in a spaceship against a different mother and daughter who are kind of pretty jerks to them actually. So yeah, the stories can range from very much outright clear Star Wars stories to small scale stories that just happen to be in the Star Wars universe, and there are almost no characters that were ever used before. Like, although the band episode had Jabba and Boba Fett show up, although it felt natural, it didn't feel like forced, that actually felt natural. And then this episode of the race had Captain Wedge Antilles mentioned. But almost all the episodes, and definitely all the best ones, have completely original characters that I doubt we'll ever see anywhere else outside of those shorts. Like, and also another amazing thing about it is that all those episodes seem to be taking in various different parts of Star Wars. Like, as I said, it's entirely possible you could even argue they just take place in alternate continuity, but since many of them do not contradict anything that happened in the movies, I see no reason why we can't imagine maybe those events actually happen. Like, for example, a perfect example is an episode, Journey to the Dark Head, which is episode 14. I mean episode 5 of season 2, but episode 14 of the show as a whole. And this very much is about a pilot and the Jedi and how they travel and fight the Sith. And this episode gave me huge Old Republic vibes. Yeah, I like to think this episode takes place sometime during the Old Republic times, or maybe even before that, because it very much felt like it. And then there was an episode back in season 1 actually, with The Elder, and that episode very much clearly takes place sometime before Phantom Menace. Like, most certainly long after Old Republic, like I would say like 50 years, I guess 100 at best, but probably less than that, but most certainly before Phantom Menace. And it's about Jedi Master and his apprentice and how they face a mysterious dark elder warrior. Yeah, and that episode very obviously takes place in, like, before Phantom Menace. But then there are also many episodes, and that seems to be like most popular timeline, that take place like during the Empire, like season 1, Slop and Ocho, and that shows how Empire divided the family. And then this season had lots of episodes that obviously take place during the Empire time, or this season's episodes, season 2's, that take place during the Empire, like the Spy Dancer, that was most certainly taking place during the Empire, and then the Bandits of Golak, also decided during the Empire, and then Into the Stars. Yeah, like all those episodes decided to take place during the Empire time, like before the original trilogy, but after the prequels. And also, I think those 3 episodes might have even been the best episodes of this season. Or no, I think Journey to the Dark Head, that's probably my favorite. But yeah, the other ones are certainly all some of the best episodes this season. But there are also episodes that I think are just more symbolic than anything else. And perfect example is season 1's The Twins, or this season's the very first episode, Sith. Like, yeah, those episodes seem very much like could even be just tales that are simply passed on to as a way to describe like Star Wars lore, because those episodes decidedly wouldn't really fit anywhere in the Star Wars timeline actually. So yeah, the Twins of season 1, and then this episode, I mean Sith, the very first episode of season 2, those episodes I think decidedly are in their own continuity, and they seem more like fairy tales that are just told in the Star Wars universe. But overall, Star Wars Visions is a fantastic show, and I think it very much made up for the season 3 of The Mandalorian, because as I said, The Bad Batch, season 2 of The Bad Batch was great. Then season 3 of The Mandalorian was very underwhelming, but this Star Wars Visions very much made up for season 3 of The Mandalorian. I don't know what I like more, Bad Batch or Star Wars Visions. I guess they're different. The Bad Batch is obviously a story with characters that we know, that takes decidedly place right after the Clone Wars, but then, while Star Wars Visions is like an anthology, Twilight Zone style, I guess, set in Star Wars universe. But yeah, both The Bad Batch and Star Wars Visions are great Star Wars material we got this year. So yeah, and I'm definitely going to, I don't know if definitely, but I will try my best to do the ranking of all the Star Wars Visions episodes, because to truly get the feel of the diversity and amazingness of all the Star Wars Vision episodes, I feel it's best to talk about each episode individually. So I'll try my best to do the ranking of it for you. So okay guys, here are my thoughts on Star Wars Visions overall, not just season 2 but the show as a whole. Did you see Star Wars Visions? What do you think about it? What's your favorite Star Wars animated show? Is it The Bad Batch, Star Wars Visions? Or maybe it's the show that I just did review almost a while ago, almost not very long ago, The Clone Wars. Maybe that's your favorite. It's certainly my favorite. Yeah, but what's your favorite Star Wars animated show? And please subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you later, bye!